no more sneaking around. This loadout gives you the means to stand and fight the bots on solo Helldives. Be warned, this adrenaline-pumping, action-moving setup differs from my other two bot Helldive solo loadouts in that you won't be avoiding fights. You'll be holding your ground until the last bot drops. I'll tear through the loadout details and leave the tips to the end. The primary is the Eruptor for one very simple reason: heavy Devastators. Those shielded, Gatling laser-wielding, aimbot-cheating trash cans will f you with all the romance of a running start. I can't tell you how often I raged as these bastards tore me apart from miles away. The Eruptor helps to balance the playing field, letting you take them out in 2 hits, but more importantly, stagger and deal damage even if you hit them in their shield. That lets you get quick shots off and get behind cover without being ripped to shreds. I have some success using the Dominator instead for this loadout, but I would still advise you to go with the Eruptor. You will need to deal with troopers fast. I tend to use the Redeemer, but you can also use the Peacemaker or Verdict if that's more your style. For grenades, it really has to be stun, folks. The number of Devastator hordes that are going to literally rain down from above you is unreal, and you're going to need that space to deal with them, even if that's just a couple of seconds to reposition behind cover. For support, the autocannon is my pick. Why? Because there is no bot it can't tear apart. For those of you that prefer the anti-material rifle, that's fine, but remember, the autocannon with its explosive damage gives you some added flexibility by being able to destroy cannon turrets at any angle, blow up fabricators, and it has a generous stagger. Next, get the Rocket Sentry. With its amazing ammo economy, you'll be able to handle waves of dropships when you're going through objectives. Unlocking the 4th tier ship modules makes for a tough little companion that will save your butt more often than not. Okay, now here's going to be the shocker and likely the bit that's going to have you question my sanity. The next stratagem pick, the one that surprised me as I went through round after round of testing, is the HMG emplacement. Okay, hold up. Before you race to the comments calling me crazy, hear me out. The rounds of the emplacement deal massive damage, and you can destroy everything outside of a factory strider and a tank. You take less damage and can even heal without needing to dismount. I'll explain more in the tip section. Speaking of tanks and those AT-ATs, get the Eagle Airstrike to put them down and give you a panic button when those crowds show up. For armor, I go with Medic for the reason I mentioned before. Being able to heal while on the HMG emplacement is goated. It gives you the chance to waste wave after wave of bots until a tank comes up, and it will. Another armor that works really well, and the one seen here, is one with the Peak Physique passive. It lets you be a lot more nimble with the autocannon and the Eruptor. I'm just about to jump to the tips, but wish to take a brief moment to ask if you can help by engaging with this video through a like, a kind comment, or best yet, a follow. Now, this request doesn't just help me grow this channel, which has become a passion of mine, but it's also become a bit of a support system. I had a really bad day yesterday, and it was reading the amazing comments that played a big role in pulling me out and getting back to making this content. Thanks for your time. Now on to the tips. Quick disclaimer, extracting is extremely difficult, and I've only been able to do so 40% of the time. The HMG emplacement and Rocket Sentry are key to holding on, but the emergence of factory striders and needing to stay in such a small area makes for a very intense and difficult situation. As I've mentioned before, keep your Rocket Sentry away from fabricators. The darn things will keep shooting at them with no effect while bots are ragdolling you over a mountain range. While on the subject, when you're placing the sentry, make sure it's away from the middle of the action to give it room to do its work. And don't get too far from it, as you'll likely need to brush off bots that get too close. You're a team, and you're going to need to look out for one another. Moreover, every objective summons dropships at predictable times. Try to have this rocket dispenser out in preparation. When that factory strider shows up, do everything in your power to destroy those 2 chin guns with the autocannon as fast as possible. Those things will get you to Death Spiral all on their own. If you do die, spawn far away and call your autocannon back. You'll have almost no chance respawning anywhere near that thing with the 2 miniguns intact. The HMG emplacement is the secret weapon. With your ability to take more damage while in it, you can hold back pretty much any number of bots. Now, with its longer cooldown, I tend to hang on to this cooldown when things get too out of hand, I'm about to work through an objective, or I'm looking to extract. Check your radar every now and again, because bot patrols love to sneak up behind you when you're already engaged. As a general tip, on solo Helldives, you're often going to be falling back a lot. Always try to have an idea of what direction you'll go. If you don't, what will often happen is that you'll be trading ground with a bot assault wave only to run into a bot base, a random group guarding a place of interest, or a patrol. Getting hit by both sides will not only end you, but will threaten a death spiral that will be very hard to recover from.